President Trump adds his picks for SCOTUS, while DOJ defends him in defamation lawsuit. More hateful leftists, this time harassing a child. And let's look at the lives of privileged rioters getting busted in New York. Welcome back to the Daily Facts. All right, let's get right into it because I'm excited about this story. President Trump adds Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, John Hawley, and others to SCOTUS nominee list. All right, so let's get into this article. President Trump added 20 names to his list of political Supreme Court justices on Wednesday, supplementing the list he originally presented before the 2016 election. And, presidents do this every, when they're being either reelected or they're going to be a potential president, which President Trump was in 2016. And then, of course, he became president, but they do this. So Trump notably added 3 Republican senators to the list, including Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, one of my favorites, and Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, all of them great picks in my humble opinion. The original members, such as U.S. 7th Circuit Judge Amy Coney Barrett and 3rd Circuit Judge Tom Hardiman, remain on the list. President Trump's list of potential Supreme Court nominees demonstrates his commitment to appointing originalists who will abide by the Constitution and textualists who will implement the plain meaning of statutes, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany told the Daily Caller. They will uphold the rule of law and ensure that America continues to shine as a beacon of freedom and justice around the world. Beautifully said, Kayleigh McEnany. Soon after the announcement, Cotton tweeted that it was time for Roe versus Wade to go, and well as affirming his support for the Second Amendment. So, if you're against abortion, which many people are, then Roe versus Wade is huge, and Tom Cotton is already throwing that out there. So that's pretty amazing and bold of him. And we all know Second Amendment, all amendments, frankly, but Second Amendment, your right to bear arms. Hawley, however, thanked Trump for including him on the list, but said he preferred to stay in the Senate. Oh, this is what Hawley said. I appreciate the president's confidence in listing me as a potential Supreme Court nominee. But as I told the president, Missourians elected me to fight for them in the Senate, and I have no interest in the high court. I look forward to confirming constitutional conservatives. Okay. Hawley's a young man, so, maybe down the road he'll feel differently. Trump announced he would be releasing a new list in June, following a pair of SCOTUS decisions that were seen as blows to his administration and conservatives generally. We all know what Trump went through. Actually, what Justice Kavanaugh went through was unbelievable, appalling, and in my humble opinion, people should be criminally charged for that fiasco of accusing him and never providing any real evidence of it. So we all know that if these individuals, if they're grilled before government officials, it's going to be tough. But I think they can handle it. I know Ted Cruz can, and I know Tom Cotton can. So we'll see what happens. This is great news, and I look forward to it unfolding as the weeks and months move forward. All right, so as you know, or you may not know, but you're going to know now, there's a defamation case against President Trump, and it involves this individual here, E. Jean Carroll, who has accused President Trump. So she's did a sit-down interview with Anderson Cooper about the alleged rape of her by then civilian Donald Trump. And I just want to give you the necessary context of who we're talking about when we get into the article about the defamation lawsuit. So she's talking about this encounter that she had with Donald Trump. and at Bergdorf Goodman's in, I believe it was New York City. So she's laying it out how they talked, and how they got. She was helping him get a gift for a woman, and so now they're upstairs in the lingerie department in Bergdorf Goodman's, and I'll let her tell you from here. Let's get started.
It was a moment in time. Nobody was there. Plus, a dressing room door was open, which is very unusual because usually they're locked, and the attendant comes and locks it, escorts you in, etc. Okay, so on the
so he said lingerie because he said he wanted you to help him pick out some lingerie.
Well, it can't, because he was not having it with the hats.
Okay.
The hats were okay. So then we went up. He was going to get some lingerie, and I am just like, oh, I can dine out forever on this story. We're going to go get lingerie.
You say you go up to the lingerie department and no one is around.
And there are 2 or 3 boxes on the counter. The fancy, remember the old-fashioned lingerie boxes, and a filmy see-through bodysuit in lilac gray. And
she remembers everything. Lilac gray. A bodysuit. Okay, well, let's keep letting her tell the story.
Snatches it up and he says, go try this on. I said, you try it on. He said, no, it looks like it fits you. I said, it goes with your eyes. He said, no, go put this on. And Anderson.
So at this point, you're saying it's a friendly joshing.
I used to be a writer at Saturday Night Live. I see an entire sketch of making Donald Trump put this filmy thing over his pants. That is what I'm thinking. I am not thinking, I think it's, I was laughing as I said.
So she's a Saturday Night Live sketch writer. All of this to me is something straight out of Saturday Night Live. So that explains it. Let's keep going.
He said, well, he went like this. And I walked in stupidly.
So for you, this was kind of a New York moment. Like one of those
best just like the best New York. Donald Trump is going to put on a filmy bodysuit. It's like, oh, I couldn't. So let's go in the dressing room. I thought, yeah, I'm going to make him put pants on. Walked in, and
now Donald Trump is a man's man, and he's not going to do that. And I don't know why she would even think that he would do that. And if he were to have done it, which he wouldn't do, it would be your word against his, just like what you're telling us is your word against his, because the statutes of limitations has expired. Let's keep going.
The minute I was in there, he shut the door and pushed me up against the wall and bang my head on the wall and kissed me. It was so shocking. I couldn't, of course, I started laughing again because.
You started laughing?
Of course.
Why? Why, of course?
Because it was a way of, if it was at all erotic in his part, it would, if a man is laughed at, it usually will make him, and he put his shoulder against me to hold me against the wall. And at that point, I realized that I was in a very difficult situation.
Did he say anything?
Okay, so we get the idea. And she pretty much just goes on from there. So we're going to leave you with that. If you care to watch the rest, you can go ahead and pull it up. Well, but we're going to move off from this. Okay, so we just viewed the video of the accuser. So this Newsmax article talks about DOJ seeks to defend Trump in defamation lawsuit. Okay, so we know that the video that we watched is the person, Carol, who has accused President Trump. And now the DOJ has taken over and they're going to defend him in this defamation lawsuit between Trump and Carol. So the Justice Department is asking to take over the defense of President Donald Trump in a defamation lawsuit filed by E. Jean Carroll, arguing the comments spurring the lawsuit came while Trump was in office. Carroll, an Elle magazine writer, accused Trump of sexual assault that occurred in the 1990s, long before his presidency. But Trump called the allegations totally false, saying he never met this person in my life. And, when you're accused and you're not guilty, you have every right to, I mean, I didn't do this. I don't know you. I barely know you, whatever the case may be. The denials are the focus of the lawsuit filed last year, and the DOJ argued in a court filing it should be permitted to take over the defense of the president. The charge of defense would delay the hearing of the lawsuit but would not kill it because the federal government cannot be sued for defamation. President Trump was acting within the scope of his office as President of the United States at the time of the incidents out of which the plaintiff's defamation claim arose, the filing argued. Indeed, when providing the challenged statements the president was speaking to or responding to inquiries from the press, much as the elected officials in the case cited above were speaking to the press or making other public statements at the time of their challenged actions. The Westfall Act requires the substitution of the United States as defendant in this action, the department added. Trump and Attorney General William Barr have faced criticism for defending the president by using taxpayer dollars, and CNN legal analyst Eli Hung called the motion a wild stretch by DOJ. Well, I mean, we'll see how this unfolds. We'll see how this unfolds. But these people are all innocent until proven guilty. And we'll let if it goes to court or before a jury or judge, we'll let them decide, right? But I find this all just reprehensible. I mean, there hasn't even been a trial against this alleged rape. We don't even know, the facts in that. But there's a defamation case. I mean, shouldn't there be a case against this rape? I mean, some may say the statutes of limitations are over, but I mean, it's too easy to scream rape. You get the idea. The statutes have expired. Unbelievable. All right, this next story is heartbreaking and, in my opinion, traumatizing to a child, but let's get into it. Delaware women accused of stealing MAGA hat indicted on robbery hate crime charges. The two women could spend a total of 15 years in prison, according to Delaware Online. Okay, let's get into this story. Two Delaware women accused of stealing a MAGA hat outside the Democratic National Convention were indicted Tuesday on charges including second-degree robbery and felony hate crimes. I mean, they're really coming down on all of this. The hammer's being dropped on all of this stuff. Olivia Winslow and Cameron Amy Boo, both 21, were indicted by a grand jury on charges of second-degree robbery, second-degree conspiracy, endangering the welfare of a child, and we'll get to that, third-degree assault, attempted third-degree assault, offensive touching, and felony hate crimes, a spokesperson for Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings confirmed to Fox News. 3 of the charges are felonies, and the two women could spend a total of 15 years in prison, the spokesperson said. Winslow and Amy are out on bail. All right, so this is the video, and we're going to take a look at this because this is what landed these women in trouble and ultimately an indictment dropping on their head.
You get off my property? Get off my property? Are you destroying my property? Yes, we are. You know that's a felony? That one too. You don't get that one. Get away from me. Ow. Get it, Lamb. Get it. Touch my hat. Take your hat. Somebody else's hat. Take that outside. Get your hat back, baby. Look at what you just did to my son. Get your hat back, baby. Get your hat back, baby. You don't give a mom.
Now, this little child is crying and he's upset. This is traumatizing to him. This is a child. I believe he's 7. He's 7 years old. And these are grown women. Let's keep going.
Give me back my hat. 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 Give me back my hat.
I'm telling you right now.
You're gonna steal my property? Yep. I'll follow you to your car and get your license plate.
I'm walking. I live in town. 911.
You want me to call 911?
How your baby sounds.
You want me to call 911? Taylor!
Okay, we get the idea. This little child wants his hat back, as he should. It should have never been taken. You know, if you have an opinion about something, you don't like something, fine. You have a right to voice that. But when you involve stealing people's property and harassing a child, ultimately, in my humble opinion, probably traumatizing them, you've crossed the line, right? So we get the idea here. Good luck. We'll pick this up. If we'll follow this story. The Daily Facts will definitely follow this story. Okay, so we just moved from 2 people behaving badly to 7 people behaving badly. So this news article is from the New York Post. Inside the privileged lives of protesters busted for rioting in Manhattan. Okay, well, at least they were busted. So let's get into this article. The so-called revolutionaries who were busted for rioting at a new African Black Panther Party rally took a break from their yacht club lives and modeling careers to be a part of the mayhem. All right, so it's already interesting. These people live a yacht club life. I mean, they're privileged, right? I mean, when you can walk around carrying a goat, let's keep going. The 7 comrades, including wealthy Upper East Sider Clara Kraber, goat holder here, had their mugshots tweeted out by the NYPD early Wednesday, days after their arrest for smashing storefront windows in the Flatiron District. And let's hope that that arrest has made them think twice about this activity. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Maybe one of them will be affected by it. They were cuffed during a protest organized by the Panthers and the revolutionary abolitionist movement groups condemning the death of Daniel Prude, who was killed while in custody of the Rochester Police Department in March. Again, people rioting before they know the facts. We don't know what occurred with Daniel Prude, but people, don't think. They act first. Aside from Kraber, the redhead daughter of an architect and a child psychiatrist with a second home in Connecticut, okay, that's wealth and privilege. 5 of the others arrested appear to also come from privileged backgrounds, leading one police source to call their actions the height of hypocrisy, and I couldn't agree more. Because when you're done rioting and doing all of what you do, you're going to go home to your Connecticut parents' home or wherever you live, some swanky apartment somewhere, and you're going to continue to live your life. Meanwhile, a lot of this rioting is going on in neighborhoods where people are, barely making it. They don't even have a grocery store, and the one grocery store they do have has been burned to the ground. Okay, so Frank Fuhrmeister, 30, he was charged with rioting and possession of a graffiti instrument. He's a freelance art director who designed ads for Joe Coffee and has also worked for Pepsi, Samsung, and the Glenlivet, among other high-profile brands. His LinkedIn profile and portfolio shows. Okay, so you don't land these kinds of gigs if you're a slouch. He studied fine arts with a concentration in photography at Florida State College in Jacksonville. So we're seeing here who these people are. I mean, either they're risking it all and they don't care about going to prison over people being shot and killed, namely Black men, when you don't know the full story, or they think they're going to get off because they have wealthy parents that can talk them out of getting out of anything. I mean, it's just more of the same, more wealthy people, right? Claire Severine, 27, who lives in Washington Heights and was charged with rioting, appears to be a signed model with the We Speak agency, who had the ability to jet between Montreal, Quebec, and Dublin, Ireland, before settling in the Big Apple to pursue a career in acting, according to a modeling profile with the same name. Okay, and it just goes on and on. So wealthy people rioting with a Black Panther movement. Makes sense to you? All right, thanks for stopping by the Daily Facts. I do hope you enjoy. Please do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll talk again soon. Bye.